How do you go about hitting up these playlist curators without being spammy or coming off annoying to them? And do you actually look them up on Spotify to find them or other ways? Yeah, so I'll show you really quick actually. So there are multiple ways to contact playlist curators. I'll show you one way right now that's free. It's a bit time consuming, but to me, honestly, I'd rather be doing this than working a 9 to 5 at some job that I'm not really a fan of. So I don't do this all the time. I need to get back in the habit of doing it more often than I do. But with very minimalistic work that I did, all I pretty much did was like one on Spotify, the desktop version of Spotify, go in the search bar. I was primarily actually promoting my lo-fi music at the time. So I would type in something like lo-fi submit. And then over here on the playlist section, just click see all. And the reason why I typed in lo-fi submit is that the way Spotify works basically is it's kind of like a search engine. Right now, by typing in lo-fi submit, a bunch of playlists just popped up that have the word submit in their description. So now you can just quickly contact the owner of this playlist and then see if you're able to submit music to them. So let's go to gaming lo-fi, for example. So I clicked the playlist. This playlist is full of lo-fi music of other artists, I would assume. And over here in the description, it says submit lofifix.com. So now you can go to that website. Not gonna go to it right now, but now you can just go to that website, go to their submission process. Most likely could be free. Maybe it might cost a small amount of money. So go to this playlist right here, strictly lo-fi music, lo-fi only submissions, at that email address right there. So basically, I would just go through a lot of these different playlists, and then so this one doesn't have that submit right there. But I would just go through all these different playlists and try to, if they had their contact information in their description, that would be the easiest thing to do. If they don't, the other thing you could do is hopefully maybe like this person right here would have an Instagram account or a Facebook account, and then you can look them up by their name. This is a little bit harder because some people, they're either not on Instagram or Facebook, or maybe their profile pictures don't match, so then you don't know for sure who it is. But in a lot of cases, it could be like, let's say Comfy Cafe has their own Instagram page. You could literally just type in their name, find them on IG. Hopefully they're active on there, and hopefully their profile pictures match up. And then you just send them a DM. You can say something really easy as, hey, I like your playlist, Lo-Fi Sleepy Beats. I listen to it all the time. It's really fascinating. I have some music that I think could fit the vibe of this playlist. May I send you some so you consider it to add to your playlist? Sometimes they won't respond, but if they do, then send them the music. If they like it, they'll add it to their playlist. So it definitely takes some time, but that's one way that you can submit your music to different playlists. I showed the example of a lo-fi. It can be with whatever genre of music you consider yourself to be a part of. So let's say chill, hip hop, submit. Let's go do this playlist. So yeah, okay, I guess, okay, that's another lo-fi playlist, but another place where you can submit right there, probably a completely different genre. Let's try rock submit out of curiosity. There you go. So for rock music right here, submit your music to that email address. Just think of different keywords that your music could fit inside, whether it's hip hop, lo-fi, pop, rock, R&B, metal, whatever genre you make, or even off of like the emotions or the vibe of your songs, like chill, I don't know, chill playlist, chill study, chill, I don't know, meditation. Yeah, just go through all these different playlists pretty much, and then if they have contact information in there, then you can go ahead and submit your music to them. That's just one of many ways where you can promote your music. Yeah, I will say that there could be some better ways to actually specifically build a fan base. This is a great way to get streams on your music, but playlisting isn't the best way from what I've studied. If you ask someone else who's more of an expert, they could say something else. Playlisting is a good way to get your music in front of people. It's not always the best number one way to build up a fan base, because not every time you go into a playlist you save everyone's songs, but it is a good way to get your stuff in front of other people. And of course, the more your music gets streamed, the more money you make. So yeah, I hope that helps. That was super long-winded, but yeah, that's a quick rundown of how to submit your music to different playlists and potentially increase your streams on Spotify. Oh, the one thing I will warn you about too, though, is that make sure that the playlists that you do hit up, make sure that they're legit. Make sure that there are actual fans in there, which is why I recommend contacting the owners of the playlist. You can ask them questions about how they build their playlist, how they get their audience for it. Asking questions like that, because there are certain playlists where there aren't real listeners in there. It could just be bots. And Spotify last year got really strict with fake streams and fake playlists. They actually took down a bunch of songs that were streaming numbers were very obviously inflated by bots. Not saying that this is going to happen with every single one of these playlists. So how can you tell a fake from bot list? Great question. So a good way to be able to tell would just be based off of like the numbers. Like if you see like the amount of followers in the playlist. If some of the numbers just seem off with how many followers all their playlists have, that's one way to tell that it's inflated by bots. If they're asking for money to submit your music to the playlist, and if they automatically accept it and don't just listen to it, that's a big one too. Because if you're curating an actual playlist, you'll want to keep people inside of that playlist. And of course, not everyone who pays you money is going to have good music, right? So if you're submitting music to a playlist and if they ask you for money, which also breaks Spotify's terms of service, so that also could get your music taken down. If they're asking you for money to submit to their playlist, and if they automatically accept you without listening to your music first, that's a really good way to know that it's most likely a fake playlist. There are services that you can pay for, like one's called, what's it called? I'm drawing a blank on his name. Basically, it's a legit company that is full of curators for Spotify playlists. You pay them to review your music, actually, which you're not paying for a placement. You're just paying for them to review your music. And if they like it, if they think that it can fit within the playlist, they'll add you to it. It's legit. They're not bots. They're real people. If you inflate your numbers on Spotify in any way, whether you're buying the fake followers or fake plays yourself, or if you submit to playlists who do that for you, yes, Spotify doesn't like that. It breaks the term of service, and you potentially will get your music taken down. But if you do submit your music to legit playlists, if your streams just gradually grow over time, then yes, or you won't get a violation for like the legit playlists. Those would be real streams and real people listening to your music. So you won't get in trouble for that. You'll just continue to build your audience on Spotify and build your streaming numbers.